Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a message for the collective for September 14th, 2020. This is a reading for all signs, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Now, if you're interested in a private reading, I have information in the description box below. Also, if you are interested in the decks that I'm using, I have them linked in order of appearance. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to invite spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, spirit guides, and our ascended masters to this space to deliver the messages that we need to hear for September 14th, 2020. Okay, look at that. The Hanged Man in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Wands in reverse. All right, so you guys know what happens on this channel when we get everything in reverse. We're going to put them up right. Beautiful. Some sort of major download took place for you guys with this Pisces full moon. Your overall energy here is the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a beautiful card. It can represent marriage, the coming together of two, and this grandiose sort of celebration of love and success and completing a cycle and moving on to the next. The Six of Wands is also my card of victory. It's about, getting the recognition and the reward for a job well done. This is Aries, Leo, Sag energy. Ooh, I like it. I really like it. So we get the Hanged Man energy. Here it's called the Hanged Muse. This is the energy of surrender. Some of you guys have learned to surrender to the journey, surrender to the changes. For some of you, this is the lesson that we're really going to be learning as Mars is moving retrograde in Aries through November. Now, this particular transit is affecting the masculine collective, men, males, but then also the masculine within each and every one of us, going through a very important, somewhat difficult time, death, rebirth, and transformation. So it's really important that the feminine holds space for the masculine at this time, but it's also really the feminine is going to be pushed to the forefront. Now, many of us have been running in the masculine energy. We've been pushing, moving, trying to succeed, make our goals a reality, running on empty, making decisions. So remember that Mars rules the masculine, rules the solar plexus, rules sex, rules decision making, and rules progress. Okay, so we're going to have to really, as Mars goes into retrograde, really surrender to the changes that are taking place within and then also within the collective. And we're going to have to find new ways to release limitations and sort of old paradigms, old patterns, old ways of being and thinking so that we can take a look at how we're going to achieve. And it's going to look very different than what many of you have thought. But you guys are going to be okay. This Hanged Man, this very Neptunian, this very Piscean energy. We do also have Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. But this very Neptunian energy is going to sort of help you go with the flow, break through the illusions. And many of these are illusions or distortions that we've set up for ourselves. Okay. For others, it's going to be breaking through illusions, in the world stage, that are put forth by large companies, governments, maybe even your job, your people around you. But it is all about surrendering to this journey. And I love this energy because that being able to go with the flow is going to be your best ally in this sort of great time of transformation. We get the Three of Materials. So for many of you guys, this is about work, and this is about collaboration, and this is really about combining, really collaborating, understanding that you're not only co-creating with spirit, with the universe, but then also who in your surroundings shares the same vision, and exactly what's necessary in order to make something happen. Right? So we oftentimes we focus on law of attraction, or we focus on, raising our own frequency, and we have vision boards and we imagine and et cetera, et cetera. which is all beautiful and very healthy and very positive ways of looking at progress. But it's also that sort of the key ingredients that are necessary for a relationship, for your career, for, abundance. And it's not only putting the time and the energy and pushing forth with that masculine, making those decisions, moving forward, taking inspired action, but it's also about channeling spirit, focusing on your feelings, and then also being open to receive help and collaboration when others are there to offer it to you, okay? Because a lot of us have big time blocks to receiving, okay? And opening ourselves, and that's the feminine, and the feminine is really being pushed right now to the forefront, and some of us are uncomfortable with receiving. We may want, and even if it's a compliment, even if it's, financial help, even if it's emotional support, even if it's a hug, we might get a little bit, prickly because we haven't allowed ourselves to receive for so long. So I love this. I love this surrendering to different ways of viewing progress, releasing your own old limitations or limitations set up by others, and working with the universe and others to receive, to create. Now we have the 10 of inspiration. So this is the 10 of wands. So this is the ending of a cycle. This is beautiful. This is releasing those old limitations, releasing. Now, many of you during this time of Mars retrograde energy are going to feel very tired, because this is what happens when the solar plexus is receiving this, this upgrade, this purge and this detox. So make sure you're taking care of yourselves physically. Make sure you're listening to your bodies. And then also for those of you, who have Aries in your chart, or you have the masculine, or you sit in the masculine energy in your relationships or in general, if you just understanding that it's a time of release. Okay, and being kind to yourself during this period. And then we get the 9 of voices, the 9 of swords. For many of the masculine collective males and people with Aries in their chart, you're going to feel like this is a dark night of the soul. Please understand that this is the energy at play. Also, don't give too much power to this. Understand it, but it's all energy. So if you're equipped, if you're aware and you're prepared, you understand what's going on, it will really help you get through this without really getting anchored in the darkness, in this sort of despair, in this exhaustion. It's going to really help you. For some of us, we're going to see, this is going to be an amazing transformation, albeit it may have some challenges at times. All right, so let's go ahead and see what additional messages come through for all signs, September 14th, 2020. All right, we get growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Absolutely. There couldn't be a better card come out for this reading, you guys. And the ultimate card, the overall energy, you're going to do it. You are doing it. You will be successful. I feel like this is a much bigger reading than just a daily reading, but they're messages that many of you need to hear. All right, death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, right? As I'm talking about this death and this rebirth and this transformation that the masculine collective and the divine masculine are going through. It's about death. It's about rebirth, transformation, and it's about growth. All right, and then we get freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Absolutely. And this is talking about not getting anchored in, the doom and the gloom. Not saying, oh, geez, Mars is going retrograde. Everything's going to go to SHIT for me. No, just being aware and prepared and understanding you have the power. What is it that you're going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the challenges, or are you going to focus on the growth that's happening? All right. And I love that you possess the power and the free will to create your own happiness at all times, every moment of the day. Okay. So we're falling on top of the 9 of Swords energy is beautiful, because if you find yourself getting really anxious, if you find yourself getting depressed, if you find yourself without any energy, understand that you have the power to change that. One other thing I want to talk about are the colors that I'm picking up on. Look at that. We have growth right on top of our yellow Hanged Man. We have death right on top of the Three of Pentacles, really focusing on your lower chakras, okay? So with this yellow, that's that solar plexus chakra. And with the red and the orange, again, we have root chakra and we have root and sacral chakra coming out, and all of those are also encompassed in our Six of Wands, our victory, and our success. So make sure you guys are staying grounded at this time. All right, so now I'm going to, I do apologize if you pick up on any background noise. I'm going to pull some cards for the collective. This is the Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Jarvie. Again, if you like the cards I'm using, they are listed down below. All right, we get in the flow. Everything is smooth sailing. Yeah, absolutely. And that is Hanged Man energy. That's stepping into the flow. Understanding everything's energy, and you guys are masters at moving energy at your own will, okay? So make sure you're not giving your power away. Astrology just gives us an idea of the energies that are at play and how we can, how we can work with them. All right, but it doesn't mean it's the be all end all. All right, and then we get grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. Yeah, being thankful for this change, for this transformation, for this opportunity to grow. Beautiful. Star Temple Oracle. These cards are gorgeous. And these are all based on the Pleiadian, or the constellation of Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. And I will read from the book about the particular sister because I find it to be very interesting. And especially those of you who may identify as starseeds, or in particular Pleiadian, this is a beautiful deck. All right, so we get, look at that, Electra, goddess of balance, equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Again, there's no coincidence. We're talking about the divine masculine in the beginning of this reading or throughout this reading. Again, finding that balance within or within your partnerships, okay? Number 13, this is beautiful. This is the scorpionic energy of the death card and the tarot, but it also breaks down to a 4 and ultimately bringing you that stability. And when we see 4s, it's the 4 corners of the earth. It's a table needs 4 legs to stand. All right, so Electra is the third brightest star in the Pleiades constellation. The luminous star flickers brightly on and off because it rotates so rapidly. Her name means amber, and she is often portrayed as a golden goddess associated with lightning, the sea, storms, mountains, and clouds. A brief history is Electra was the wife of the pragmatic Italian king Corythus, but also a passionate lover of Zeus. She is the mother to 2 sons, Lasion and Dardanus. Her youngest son, Dardanus, would go on to be the founder and warrior king of the famous city Troy. When Troy fell, it is said that Electra grieved infinite golden tears and disappeared from the sky, earning her name as the Lost Star. The Awakener archetype, which is Electra, activates spiritual growth and balance via the feminine influences of sorrow and vulnerability. After the storm comes the stillness. As the Awakener, Electra triggers spiritual awakening and collective ascension. Her tears awaken humanity with compassion, empathy, and kindness for eternity. Electra initiates profound soul learning by encouraging you to dive deep into the shadow to release limiting beliefs, past hurts, and embedded grief. Embrace the lessons and the blessings with gratitude and self-compassion. The sacred doorway to this deep spiritual awakening is the solar plexus chakra. You guys cannot make this stuff up. Absolutely awesome. I love that. All right. Now, So equality, the Electra is also the goddess of balance, and she's asking you to establish healthy boundaries in your relationships and your interactions with others. This might be particularly heightened for those of you who are in union or in a relationship, and the masculine of you doesn't necessarily mean the male person, okay? But the masculine is going through this death and this rebirth process, okay? So blurred boundaries can create confusion, resentment, and disharmony in your life. So it's really important that you head this off, or you're aware of what's going on. Get clear on what you want and know that you deserve reciprocal, balanced relationships with equal give and take. So I'm also really urging you, those of you in relationships, to pay attention to, what is going on during this Mars in retrograde period, and to hold space for your partner, or for the masculine, or for that masculine side of yourself, because they are going through this sort of profound transformation. But that's within boundaries as well. So that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that, unacceptable behaviors are morphed into acceptable behaviors. So it's really important that you pay attention to this, and you know what your limits, and you set your boundaries very clearly, okay, to support one another. And if this isn't within a relationship, this is within your masculine side, is going through something very intense. All right, so be kind with yourself. Know your limitations and ask for help when you need it. Be open to receive graciously and allow others the gift of giving. Okay? Electra helps you to break those relationship patterns that no longer serve you. All right? So really a lot of information in this reading, you guys, but you guys are some very powerful souls. I absolutely love and adore you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.